I've been thinking about lately a bit is one of the many misconceptions that people have about vegans. I hear people ask, how can vegans care so much about animals and not about humans? Why do they care about animal suffering when there are humans suffering right now? Shouldn't we deal with human suffering first and then move on to animal suffering? Today I want to talk about how human rights and animal rights go hand in hand. Talking from my own experience now, going vegan is not something that you just wake up one morning and decide to do for no specific reason. It's a decision that grows on you. And after having a thorough and hard debate with yourself, some people have this over many years, some over a couple of days, and in the rare case just over one night, you finally realize that you've run out of excuses. And the decision to go vegan and to start avoiding things that contribute to animal suffering, such as consuming dairy, eggs, meat, wearing leather, fur, going to animal circuses, zoos, and such things, it doesn't make you less sensitive to human suffering. In my own case, and I know many others, have actually become more aware and more involved in human rights after going vegan. When you start looking at the world without blinders, it's inevitable that you will see more suffering than you did before. And that leads to a stronger motivation to help others, humans and animals alike. Another aspect of this matter is that human suffering, and especially starvation, is very closely linked to global food consumption, and therefore it is also linked to veganism. What we eat doesn't only affect us. Today we are growing enough food on this planet to feed every single last human. Just think about it logically. We raise and slaughter 60 billion land animals every year. 60 billion. Last time I looked, we're only 7 billion humans. So while we raise and feed 60 billion land animals every year, we sit and wonder how 20,000 people die from starvation every day. The UN, amongst others, reports that we can end world hunger if we all transition to a vegan diet. A shocking fact is that the majority of starving children live in countries where the food they grow is fed to animals, and the animals are eaten by Western countries. And I would like to say something more about the animals. Even if we only buy local meat from our own area, it is still taking away everything from someone else. In the end, when it comes down to it, life is all that we have. And to take life away from another being for the purpose of our pleasure, habit, or convenience is not right, and it's not just, and it's far from compassionate. It's not about how well we treat them until we cut their throat. I think we can all agree that there is no such thing as humane rape, and you cannot have a humane robbery, and there is no such thing as humane murder. We like to call it slaughter instead of murder to make it sound better, but whatever we decide to call it, for the victims it means nothing. Gas chambers and bolt guns are the most common way of stunning animals in slaughterhouses around the world. It's considered to be the most humane way of killing. The actual death happens when the animal is then hung upside down and have its throat slit. It's not uncommon for the stunning to be unsuccessful, and the animal is still alive when it's having its throat slit, or when it's having its skin ripped off. When you open your eyes to this, you will become closer to who you really are. You will reconnect with the universal compassion that you were born with. And once you start living more and more in line with your true values, you will see what I mean when I say that it's impossible to care about only one thing. Life is precious. Bees, ants, bats, worms, fish, and birds. Those are some examples of species that humans cannot survive without. Everything would collapse. The extinction of the human species, on the other hand, would be the beginning of the rehabilitation of planet Earth. Everything else, all other life, would flourish and thrive. We can use this realization to become more humble, to see that my life is not more important than any other living being's life. We all want to be happy and free from suffering. And as far as possible, shouldn't we strive towards causing as little suffering as possible? That's all for this video. I will see you in the next one.